Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Planet for Tech. I hope you all are doing great and learning lots by watching all the continuous episode and of our tech series. So guys, till now we have completed two episodes of this series MongoDB Beginner to Master, and in the previous episode we have seen like how to install MongoDB Compass. So that we have already installed and configured in our device. Now today in the episode 3 I am going to describe you what the NoSQL database. So these are the you can say the terminology or concepts what we are going to deal in all the episodes. So MongoDB is called as the NoSQL database. So that we are going to discuss, understand in a depth like why it is called NoSQL database and what is the benefit, why we are going to follow this NoSQL database. However, we have standard database like RDBMS, then why we are moving to the NoSQL database. So definitely there will be some issues in the existing database, or not issue, we can say challenges in the existing database system. So that challenges are going to be overcome by the new database system, that is a NoSQL database. So let's start this all one by one. So today's this episode is going to be a bit theoretical because we are just it is just a beginning of this series, so we have to build a solid concept in terms of theoretical part. Then after we are going to cover those by the practical way as well, and we will look like how we can use it effectively MongoDB in our data project. So here you can see so database types. First of all, we have to understand what the database types are. So guys, before we can see we have only three database types. So the NoSQL is currently introduced. Right now it is introduced nowadays, and previously we were using RDBMS. So RDBMS is nothing but the relational database management system. So what this is, in a two word we can say it is a table based. It is a table based. When we are saying table based means definitely there will be certain rows and columns. So that is why RDBMS is called as the table based, and it is a two dimensional. Only row and column it is supporting. So we were storing the data in a row and column. So that is going to be stored in the table. So this is RDBMS. Now come to the OLAP. So what the full form of OLAP is? Online Analytical Processing. So this is array based. So when we say array based, so we know like there are one dimensional array, two dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array as well. So here you can see in the RDBMS, the issue was it was only dealing with the two-dimensional database. But here we have array based OLAP. It is able to deal with the multi-dimensional database, means only row and column it is not dealing, it is dealing with the third dimension as well. You can say height and you can say the depth of that. So if we are dealing the database in a multi-dimensional way, so we use OLAP, online analytical processing. So it is a array based and the multi-dimensional data it can handle. So now come to the next, that is a NoSQL. So the NoSQL is what? It is a document based. So guys, you have to notice here we are moving ahead with a new technology. So previously it was table based in a RDBMS. After that it is OLEP means array based, and the NoSQL it is a document based. Document based means here we are not going to have the array or not going to have the table row structure. Whatever we need, that we are going to store in the format of document. So when we say document, it is not kind of the file. We are going to understand the document and the collections well. So documents are basically JavaScript object that we will discuss later on. So here we in this NoSQL based on the document based database, and it stores large data. So this is the awesome feature of this NoSQL. It is document based and stores large data. So guys, you have to keep remember this point. This is the unique feature like we have with this we can say the NoSQL, that is it is document based and it stores large data. Now come to the next point. What is NoSQL database? So we have discussed here it is a document base and it stores large data. So NoSQL means here we are not going to store the data in a row or column format. Instead of that, we are going to store the data in a document based. So I will show you that how we can create the document, so that we are going to have in the coming episode. So only thing you have to remember, in a NoSQL database, the data are going to be stored in a format of document instead of storing in a row column. This is the first point. Another point is it can store large data because it is a limitation of the RDBMS. RDBMS not allow us to store large data, but here in the Mongo we can store the large data. So that is why it is NoSQL database. Now come to the most important point, that is the why NoSQL database we are going to understand here. What is those attractive feature, what features are there which is attracting the new technologies tech stacks, so that we are going to understand in the why NoSQL database we need. So as we all know guys, that nowadays the managing data is going to become a very big challenge or big problem you can say, because the data are very used, and variety of data we are going to have in every project, and lots of different category of data we are going to have. So to deal with that complex data and large data, definitely we should have one robust system that can allow us to store that kind of data, and it also provide the best performance. So this was the need. So to overcome this need, you can say that to overcome these challenges, the NoSQL is introduced here. So we are going to understand it one by one why this becomes more important nowadays. So here I have categorized these three approach, like how we were typically how we were storing the data before the RDBMS. So you can see here. So before the RDBMS, typically file systems we were using. So in file system there was some challenges, like let's suppose there are lots of companies, so every companies are storing their data in their own way. Means there were lack of standard, so there were no standard to store the data. All companies were following their own way to store the data. So this was the issue. And the second issue is it becomes very tedious when we perform search to the data for further view or update or delete operation. So if the data are not stored in a proper standard way, so obviously it becomes very tedious to access those data and to pull information from that data. And you can say we were not able to frequently view or update or delete operation, that we are not able to perform because those data were not stored in a proper standard way. Now guys, you have to understand here. So these two are the major problem with the data handling. Now these two problems are solved by the RDBMS. So what it does, can say RDBMS fix the above two problems. So these are the two problems. So what it provide, RDBMS provides the standard way of storing the data that we store in a row and table format. And the second point it provides is, now in RDBMS there are some SQL query languages. With the help of that, we can perform search quickly, and we can view and we can delete or update the data properly with the help of their DML query that RDBMS provides. So these two issues are fixed by the RDBMS. But you can see, as data becomes large, so there is a new challenge. There is a new challenge being faced by the tech guys. You can see here the challenge is what? Dealing with the large data. Now there is a limitation with the RDBMS. It not allow us to deal with the large data set. So this is the new challenge which we are going to fix by using the NoSQL, that is a MongoDB. So this is the new challenges what we are facing. That is what RDBMS not deals properly with the large database. Large data, it is not large database, it is large data. Now come to the next. So finally you can see we have three problems. One is the standard approach to store the data, and another is the frequently manipulation of the data, and the third recent issue is was to deal with the large data. So these all three issues are going to be solved by the NoSQL database. So here we can see finally all the three above issues are overcome by the NoSQL database. So all these three issues are solved by the NoSQL database. So how it is possible? Because it provides us standard way of dealing with the data. So this problem is fixed, and it provides us easy to search and manipulate the data because it also supports the query language. So it becomes easy to search and manipulate the data. Second issue is fixed. And the third issue is what? It is not, we were not able to deal with the large data. So that is also fixed, or you can say uh, it is also achieved by the NoSQL. So now NoSQL is capable of dealing with the large data as well. So we can see here, guys, there were three type of issues we were facing while dealing with the data. So all those three issues challenges are fixed by the NoSQL. So for NoSQL, we are going to understand that is the MongoDB we use. Like for RDBMS, we use MySQL, SQL, and you can say the Oracle as well. But for here, for NoSQL, we are going to use that MongoDB. Now, now come to the point, what is the advantage of NoSQL? So these three issues are fixed. So those three are only mentioned here. The first one is it provides the horizontal scalability. Horizontal scalability means we can store few of the data to in a one document and rest data in another document. So this is what about the horizontal scaling. Now the next point is query language support. So it provides the query language support as well, and it is it is a fast in terms of performance. So obviously in a previous episode also I have described you like MongoDB means NoSQL is 100 times faster than the RDBMS. So this all we have already understood. Now let's see the difference and similarity between the NoSQL means MongoDB and the RDBMS. So we are going to understand the what is the similarity and what is the differences between the MySQL and the MongoDB. So that we are going to deal in the next episode, in the episode number 4. So I hope guys you have understood the basics of NoSQL. Now in the episode number 4 we are going to understand the similarity and differences between the MySQL terminology and the MongoDB. So there we will understand few more things. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching.